we are going to install and evaluate Parrot OS 7.0. We enter the website and see the different uses it can have, mainly focused on security. We press the download button, then select Live, then the Home option and the only AMD 64 option. Then we click Download and wait. Of these 3 distros, what is their ranking order based on the balance between consumption and performance? Find out at the end of the video. We boot the ISO, and it runs in average time. Parrot OS is based on Debian and focuses on security and privacy. Then it enters Plasma. We click on Install Parrot, select the language English, the location Guatemala, and the keyboard layout Latin American. Next, we must select the disk partitions. Since we are reusing a disk, there is no erase option, so we configure it manually. Now we enter the full name, the username, the password and its confirmation, and enable the option to log in automatically. Then we confirm and the installation begins, which is considered a bit slow. The first release was in 2013 and used Mate. In 2017, Debian was considered, but it continued with Debian. In 2020, it used XFCE by default, and currently it uses KDE Plasma. The system boots for the first time. It asks for the user password, even though it was indicated not to do so. We review the desktop, panel, and menu. We observe the applications installed by default, remembering we used the Home Edition. We open the terminal, increase the font size and window size to improve visibility, and update the system to have the mirrors set correctly. We check if FastFetch and Sysbench packages are available. Being Debian-based, they are present. We install them to evaluate the system. We run FastFetch to review general system information such as version, kernel, desktop, window manager, memory, and disk. Then we run several commands to check the system distribution, kernel version, current memory usage, and overall disk space usage. Now, we verify the Y2038 bug using the date command. Then we use systemd-analyze to check the boot time excluding firmware time. Next, we use Sysbench, starting with the CPU, observing single-thread performance and then 5-thread performance through operations. We continue with the threads and Mutex tests to analyze concurrent load management and resource locking, respectively. We evaluate both memory read and write using a sequential benchmark to accurately measure the ability to handle operations. Then, we prepare the required files to evaluate disk input and output and run the test to determine overall performance. We run the top command to measure the memory consumed by Firefox with one window to observe the initial resource usage. We open a second tab and load a video, then a third and finally a fourth, observing how consumption increases with each opening. We have finished the review and evaluation of Parrot OS. Now we analyze the results observed during the tests performed. The following results are based on comparisons with other distributions. In terms of the kernel and desktop version, they are not up to date. Regarding initial memory consumption and boot time, the values are average. However, the megabytes per package are notable. With respect to the CPU tests, single-thread, 5-thread, and Mutex results were average, but the threads test produced a very low result. The obtained values for memory, read, and write, and disk operations are good. However, Firefox's per-tab memory consumption is high. In conclusion, Parrot OS 7.0 delivers average performance among distributions. The standout points are the megabytes per package. Also noteworthy are memory and disk performance. Among its weak points are concurrency handling and Firefox's per-tab consumption. That's all for this video. If you liked it, give it a like, comment, subscribe, and enable notifications. See you in the next video.